Hello, hello, hello. It's day 14. And you know what I'm going to be talking about today? Be weird. Be different. Don't fucking conform. All right? It's like conform. Like what's wrong with conformity? What's wrong with just being a normal person? Fuck that. bro okay, yeah, where's this impassioned uh rant on being weird coming from? I have just spent like the past 3 hours enjoying myself at work, making my coworkers meow. Right, I've been going out to them making a meow because like I was really bored. Right, I'm cooped up in this office, get my work done, and you know what always puts a smile on my face? Meowing. Meow. Right? I was like, meow. Ow. Right? And like, I was gonna do it. And every time, I put a smile on their face. Because like, it's different. You have free will. Do something with it. Right? Man, I'm talking really fast. Sorry. I usually talk really slow. But you know what else happened today at work? I was playing my videos in the background and I fell asleep. I have an over relaxing voice and they're so slow. It was a good nap. It was a good nap. I'll tell you that much too. But yeah, literally be weird, be different, be yourself ultimately, you know? One of my coworkers is like, I like having the things everybody else has. Fuck that, bruh. Like I'll have some stuff that everybody else has, but I ultimately want to have stuff for me. I want to care about me, right? I was just watching this TikTok about this one girl, like Lemper. I don't remember. I might like put it in the edit. But she was talking about how the love that we want the most of comes from myself. I've talked about this as well, but she was going about it in a different way. When you look in the mirror and you gaze into your own eyes, that love and recognition and wholeness that you feel when you look into the mirror to that depth, that's the love that we're looking for in others. But that love can never be attained by anybody else. That love will never be felt by anybody else. You have to love yourself. When you're being weird, it forces you to love yourself. When you're being weird, you have to laugh at your own joke because you love it. You know how many, there was this moment where I meowed and nobody laughed but me. And I was having the best time of my life. For real. Because literally, like, why am I gonna care what these other people think if I'm here to enjoy myself? I'm in an office. I don't care about like whatever standards I'm approaching myself by. And like, I live in honesty and authenticity. I take full accountability of everything that I've done. Yeah. Even the negative. I don't know who's gonna see this, but like, I fucked up in the past. I take accountability for that. Some people hate me, and it's okay. But I needed to grow and change as a person so that I could love myself to who I am now. And I really feel like a lot of people don't love themselves, and they reflect the pain that they feel for not knowing how to love themselves onto others. And it's okay. I'm still dealing with that myself as well. There's a certain type of trauma that we feel when we're dealing with relationships and we're done dirty. You get me? It becomes hard to disconnect that emotion from others sometimes. Not out of any real like hatred or like real negativity towards these other people, but you're just traumatized. You're scared that you're going to feel that type of hurt again. And it's really hard to open yourself up to that fullness like that over and over and over, you know, because the one time that you did it, you got stabbed. But it makes you stronger when you bounce back from it. You got to do the work to bounce back. And it's going to be worth it. It always is. So, like, don't give up. Continue being weird even when you're laughed at. Continue being weird even when it's silent. Continue being weird when nobody is there. Continue being weird when you feel like you have nobody. Because when you let yourself be weird, that's how you love yourself. That's how you get comfortable with yourself. That's where you find the comfort in your vulnerability. Like I talked about earlier as well. The comfort and love that we're looking for is found in this authenticity, in our weirdness. So let yourself be heard. And meow. Okay. It's day 14. So let's write. So before we get into the preschool book, let's write in here. Should we do the preschool book first? Generally don't know. Let's flip a coin. Heads we write, tails is preschool. Heads. Cool. Alrighty. So, yeah, dude, I'm really happy with this actually. Be weird, love yourself to the fullest, and rock out. When you can excel in your weirdness, things will be straight for you. All right. Let me write. It's what, day 14, right? Yep. Okay. I'm gonna keep talking about how we need to be weird to be free. Cause like, really, our weirdness and our self-expression is really, it's not focused. Sorry. But literally, like, our weirdness and self-expression is where our most loving selves come from. Right. Especially when you're expressing that, like, loving weirdness out to other people. Some might look at it as like a weakness, like, oh, I would never want to act like that. Well, like, fuck you. But like, that's not my issue, you know? And it takes a lot of trial and tribulations, right? I know personally, I've cried over knowing how people talk about me. It's not fun. It drives insecurity into you. But at the end of it, every time, I come to love myself even more. I come to love my authentic expression even more in a way that I never have before. Like, honestly, literally, last time I cried about someone talking about me was literally last week. I was so depressed about it. You know, I mean, there's other stuff on top of it too. But like, this stuff is real, you know? But it's a journey in which we grow as an individual, and it always pays off. I love myself more. I love my weirdness even more. I love everything about me. I love the jokes I tell. I love the music I listen to. I love how I dress. I love how I talk. I love how I act. I love all forms of expression that I participate in. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of it. For real. Like, it takes time to build it, but you gotta trust yourself and you gotta love yourself. Rock out. All right, this pre-K book. Bro, this shit got me in a great mood, honestly. Oh, it's 3. They did not feel like doing all that. Okay. I don't feel like switching between the pens, honestly. Where my black pen up? I keep burping. Sorry. So, we're coloring the letter I because I'm fucking awesome. And so are you, but you just gotta believe in it. Coolio. And we're done just like that. Cool. But yeah, that's it. I guess more conversations on being weird and the vulnerability of it. Because, like, everybody is weird or excels in their weirdness, at least. Knows what it's like to get called a name or, like, be told to be more normal. And it's just like, fuck that. That goes back to what this entire series is about. Conformity and of living to standards that don't speak to us. We conform to standards for other people's comfort. And then sometimes, or most of the time, we get comfortable in that. And we come to have a love for said standard because that's all we've allowed ourselves to know. But there's another way. It's the way of discomfort and weirdness and self-love and appreciation. I love nature, right? Hopefully this don't fuck up the lighting. But if you look at them trees out there and personified them, every single one of those trees would excel in their weirdness, in their individuality, in their self-love, right? But they would also excel in showing genuine care for everybody around them. You get me? What nature really has to offer to us is another way of life than what we are used to. Let's take masculinity, for example. Let me close that. Current ideas of masculinity is based around division and violence and having control over another. So it's a really divisive existence. It's one that bases itself on competition and violence and control, right? Your masculinity is based around your violent output, You know, therefore, the more violent you are, the more of a man you are. Blah, 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 blah. Right. But that's a choice to subscribe to that idea. When you subscribe to another form of masculinity, you're therefore seen as weird in some facet to some men. Right? So, how can we look at nature for a new example of masculinity? I think of the pillars, the trees before us that care for their environment, that care for how others are raised, and that care for life. All right. Violence is a choice. And yes, the natural world is violent, but as humans, we have a choice. So, what will you choose? I know for me and those that I participate in my masculinity, it's in loving and caring. But honestly, I don't even subscribe to that. It's just how I participate in my humanity, period. I feel like those terms of masculinity and femininity have only been curated to divide us even more from the humanity that we all share, you know? Race, gender, other terms that probably aren't coming to me. Or, well, neurotypicality as well. All these aspects to how we've come to divide the human mind and the human body have really come to divide us from ourselves. You get me? And ultimately, with the capitalist framework, it exists to divide our minds from our bodies and our bodies from each other, so that we can never feel satisfied, so that we are a forever consumer, right? A forever slave, ultimately, that can only ever output, but can never be garnished in such a way that they're satisfied. You will never feel whole as long as you are operating in these metrics that divide you. So be weird, be different, find a new way to excel in your wholeness. Now rock out. Go!